Are you ready to have your faces continue to be rocked? Well, okay, we'll get it. I think by tomorrow we'll all get it. We'll be like, woo! I want at least someone to have a bottle broken over their head. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! Ow! Okay, that's a new one. You guys are all gonna get real hyped up by the orangutan that came tonight. That's really nice. Afa? Yeah. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna see all of us again. I'm really happy that all of you came back. In fact, because you're back, let's clap again for being alive. That's what I was hoping was going to happen when I started yelling at you. Okay, so we're going to hear from all of us again, and then after the show, your lives will be better than they were. That's how that works. So who here likes Star Wars? Okay, good, good. This is you. People in their 20s are like, what, is that a new Pokemon? Who here likes Lord of the Rings? Some of the same hands, okay, that's interesting. Who here likes Harry Potter? Okay, very good, very good. So I wrote this essay about our friend Harry Potter. Does he have a German name like Heinrich Potterdammerplatz or something? I don't know. I don't know what happens over here. So yeah, I wrote this essay about Harry Potter, and it was for this book event for J.K. Rowling. She had a new book come out, and it was not about Harry Potter, and so this event, they're like, we still want to throw a Harry Potter party. So they had me write this essay, and it's called Harry Potter and the Nerd-Faced Jerk Kid. Spoiler alert, that's me. Okay, here we go. In my mind, the very best alternate universes are the ones so complete so as to invite the viewer or reader to insert their own identities into these fictional worlds. Most days we could see ourselves as hobbits, or Ewoks, or house elves. On the great days, at our very best, we feel like the riders of Rohan, or mighty Wookiees. Or at least the club treasurer of the Order of the Phoenix. These universes make heroism a part of the sign-up fee. And when faced with the options, when looking in the face of Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, or looking in the face of Greedo the Bounty Hunter from Star Wars, or looking in the face of Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter, we know we could shoot the arrow, or fire the blaster first, or call her a B-word. Like Mrs. Weasley did when she's like, you're a B-word, then she killed her. That is us succeeding, getting our hands dirty, saving the whole dang day. But part of the magic that holds these universes together is a vagueness that doesn't ask too many questions. Deconstructing these texts always leads to frustration. You be like, wait, why don't the hobbits just ride an eagle all the way to the volcano and then dump the ring in? It'd be super easy. It'd be super easy. And then you could cut out all that walking. Or you're like, wait, why do they keep building the Death Star with a tiny but exploitable fatal flaw? They should cover that exhaust port with a grate made of the Force or something. Or you're like, wait. So Harry Potter nerds, what's the thing you use that turns back time? What's that called? Do you remember? Time turner. Time turner turns back time. It's time turner turns time. That's right. So you're like, oh my God, why don't they use the time turner, turn it like 1,000,000 times, go back in time, and murder Voldemort as a teenager? An evil teenager who deserves it. The correct answer to all of these questions is shh. Don't speak, baby girl. Just watch all these tree people move around and beat everybody up, despite the fact that they're made of wood. I don't know, we have to think about this, everybody. Oh no, they're destroying our forests, kill them. Hey, full disclosure here, I didn't read Harry Potter. Listen, no, I listened to a lot of it as a book on tape, or I watched the movies, or I just observed what I needed to from the obsessive conversations of close friends. Now, before you stab me in the neck and throw me in the street, please know that I did read the entire 7th Harry Potter book from cover to cover. It was one of the most important experiences of my life, but more on that later. I remember once in high school, my mother, a librarian, read me the entire first chapter of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to try and get me hooked. Sadly, the part of me that didn't want to admit my mother was capable of anything cool won out over the part that was overjoyed to hear Mom speaking a magical story to me again for the first time in 12 years. I remember the house getting so quiet around her voice. And my stepdad, Greg, muted the TV in the bedroom so that he could hear too. What I should have done is taken the book from her and just devoured it, or said, keep reading, and made hot cocoa for me and Greg. But the power of cool was so great. Or rather, the power of my uncool. I avoided the books to try and pretend to be something I am not. Speaking of nightmares, I was talking to my friend Fiona on Facebook chat one day about her nightmares. She gets these horrible nightmares where all of her friends die and she cannot save their lives. So we're chatting on Facebook one morning, and it was right after I had died in one of her dreams. And she was like, oh, I just had a genius idea. Nightmare meditation for little kids based on the idea of the Bogart. And I said, yes! What is that thing you just said? And then she said, did you even read Harry Potter? Who are you? Bogarts are evil spirits that lurk in closets and cupboards and take the shape of whatever it is you most fear. You imagine a way that it can be turned goofy and impossible to take seriously, and then you concentrate on it, and you point your wand at the Bogart and you say, ridiculous! And then the Bogart transforms, and everybody laughs. How can you not know this? It's like your whole shtick. And then I said, ha 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 ha. So we're chatting on Facebook. I said, this is great, because I agreed to write this essay about Harry Potter, and I only ever read like the 7th book. And then she said, ugh, because she was disappointed. And then I said, but I'm stealing this for that show. And then she said, duh, you're welcome. And then I said, yay. And then she said, if you need the source text, it's in book 3. And I said, thanks, but I'll probably just directly copy and paste this conversation into the piece. I'm a writer. And then she said, I hate you, you handsome devil. She didn't say that. All right. She's super right, though. I have made a living out of taking the fears that I have and laughing at them in public, laughing at my crippling uncoolness, laughing at being so nerdy, I'm not nerdy enough for Harry Potter nerds. This laughter is a trap around these fears so that they are conquerable. Of course, they always come back in my sleep. So, in 2007, I was at the American National Poetry Slam in Austin, Texas, competing for Team Chicago. I was having the best slam competition of my life, and I actually made the individual final rounds by performing stupid poems about my crappy car and dancing in mosh pits. You might remember that one. I had conquered the very serious poets who tried so hard to be seen as lyrical shaman with my poop jokes and awkward flailing. Then I got a call in my hotel early in the morning from my brother Dan. My stepdad Greg had died in his sleep next to my mother, the soothing-voiced librarian. A real nightmare. A fear that makes being top 10 in a made-up poetry competition seem so plainly stupid. Reality sucker-punching the magic from me. The airline wouldn't let me change my flight home, so I decided to stay and perform in the individual final round. I did a poem about Muppets, where I cartwheeled off the stage and everyone laughed. I was surrounded by hundreds of smiling friends who, with their wands, deemed me cool for the first time in my life. And all I wanted to do was run away. So that's what I did. I found a coffee shop on the edge of town, and I read all of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, a book that is so filled with death, it's in the title. And that book saved me. It helped me because my mother could not. You see, it's not that it says that death is avoidable. It says that death is a part of all of our stories. And you can either face it or eat it. It made death ridiculous. It was the only meditation I had to keep my mind from unraveling. It put a container around my nightmares. So I know that the magic in Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, this magic in Harry Potter's, this is not the magic we experience in our everyday lives, but we experience magic in this universe. For instance, today is my stepdad Greg's 60th birthday. I mean, what is that, right? Some kind of magic. Anyway, I'm not going to ask too many questions. Thanks. Thank you to Treebeard for helping me out on that one. You were a great, Treebeard.